Coming into your Mabu, your horse stance to begin. Feel free to turn your toes out more. That is perfect, more of a yoga pose as we hold. You're doing great. Breathe, then press through the feet and come to stand. Twice more, squatting low. Maybe you can get your buttocks in line with your knees. Keep tucking the tailbone under. And then coming to stand. Last round. Draw your hip points into your body. Keep breathing. So keep relaxing the top chest as our legs work, pressing through the feet, coming to stand. Now pulses. Hold in your Mabu and pulse up and down a little. Really press through your feet. Really open up your knees. Press up to stand. And sitting back down into your Mabu again. Do what you can, guys. You're doing great. Little pulses, warming up our legs, coming to stand. Last round of the pulses. Think of moving your sit bones almost forward. So we're really tucking our tailbone under. That's it with those pulses. Turn your toes out a little more now and lift one heel and then the other as we sit in our Mabu. Press through the supporting heel, so really get those glutes firing up. It's like a warm-up. Come to stand. Now lifting both your heels as high as possible and holding. This is hard. So just breathe, relax the face, and then come all the way up to stand. Come to your back, the back of your mat now, and roll down through the spine one vertebra at a time. Take your time simply enjoying this. Hang out at the bottom for a little. Release the tension from the top chest, the face, the jaw. And walking your hands out into a downward facing dog. Pressing your thighs back. Lifting your chest away from the floor. Now rippling forward into your plank. Rock forward and back here. Warming up your abdominal muscles. Keep breathing, keep releasing, and back to your down dog for a little break. Rippling forward into our plank and rocking our hips from side to side now. Keep lifting your belly, keep lifting your chest up into the upper back. So upper back in line with the shoulder blades here. Lowering our knees and coming onto our fists, optional. Fist plank from your knees or toes. Slight bend in the elbows, relaxing our face and jaw. Of course, breathing, knees to the floor now, unfurls. Fist plank or regular chaturanga. 1 to 3 push-ups, chaturangas basically, right? From our fists. Then lengthen, send your sit bones back. Unfurl, rounding through the spine, and 1 to 3 chaturangas. Just one more round after this. Keep your upper back in line with the shoulder blades. That's the reason why we're unfurling. This is our last round. Come as low as you can. You can do it from your toes if you're strong enough. Now hands flat on the floor, unfurl. Full or half chaturanga. Up dog, you'll notice I'm keeping my knees on the floor here. Reversal, sit bones move back. This is a little break. Unfurl. Coming into our half up dog. Belly in. Belly lifts. Lengthen, sit bones move back. One last time. Unfurl, rippling forward. Now I'm lifting my kneecaps. And optional, lift one leg and then the other if that feels good. Slide back and bring your elbows forward into our Sphinx pose. Lift your belly, mid-back and upper back, so rounding through the spine as we hold in our ugly plank. So it's not flat, that's why it's called ugly, it's rounded. Lower your belly back to the floor. Think of lifting your low back first, and it lifts because we're drawing the navel in. We're drawing the front of the body into the back of the body, holding, breathing, and lowering back down. And one more time, rounding up through your entire spine. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Now you might have to blow the tension out through your mouth. Coming back to your child's pose. Release the tension. Make it feel really good. And then moving over onto the side. So your hand, your knee, and your instep is in line, and take little pulses with that top leg. So we're getting a squeeze into the side of the glute. The right leg is lifting up. The left knee is on the floor. Keep that foot flexed. Other side. So left foot right behind. Pulse that, right foot, left leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Take those little pulses. Squeezing right into the glute. Now, same position here with the foot, the hand, and the instep, but moving the leg forward and back on the other side. So left knee is on the floor. And the name of the game here is keeping the pelvis steady. That's the real challenge. This looks so easy, but I know it's challenging. Keeping the pelvis steady, other side. So the right foot is facing behind us. Line everything up. Then move that left leg forward and back, keeping the pelvis rock steady. Keep releasing the tension in the top chest. I know your brain is probably thinking about what you're doing as your body is really working hard, but at least release with the breath. Now step the right foot forward into our low lunge, and this is our release. So enjoy it. Open the hips, release the back thigh. Have a little rock and roll here. Step 2 option, take hold of the back foot and draw it in towards the buttocks. So we're releasing into that back thigh. Again, think of the tension draining away on the exhalation. Knee to knee, and step the opposite foot forward now. Same thing. I like to flip my hands backwards, so my fingers facing me, to release my wrists at the same time here. And then take hold of the back foot. Left hand takes hold of the right foot. And release. Step back into your full or half plank, full or half chaturanga, full or half up dog. And then that optional leg lift again. Belly squeezes, reversal into your downward facing dog. Make it a nice long one. Have a little breather. Press your thighs back and walking your hands back to your feet, unfurling to stand, one vertebra at a time, stacking. Hands support the head now and lift that top chest up towards the ceiling. Really stretch the top chest up as you perhaps release one hand and then the other. It depends on your head and neck, how you're feeling. And repeat that. You should feel this beautiful stretch in the front line of the body. Now, some Kung Fu push kicks. So, mindful with the weights as you lean back a little bit and press with the foot. It's like you're pushing someone away with your foot. So make your thigh do the work if you're wearing ankle weights, and take it a lot slower than usual if you need to. Think that there's someone in front of you and you're pushing them away with your foot. Lean back slightly. Doing what you can. It's really important to use the breath well when you're doing anything challenging, because we don't need to be as tired as we sometimes are. The breath can help. Now, slap kicks. Kick your hand with your foot. Get your hips out. You might need to take little breaks here if these kicks are very challenging. After a while, they become much easier and it becomes like a warm-up to do these kind of kicks in this way and a way. Like a fitness activity. So kick your hand, slap your hand with your foot. We're done. Shake the tree, have a little bounce from the balls of your feet, shaking out any excess tension. We're going to be working quite hard. We want to take those moments to release. Refurling. So coming back down towards the floor. And having a little moment to release your hamstrings in whatever way that feels good for you. I like to lift my sit bones up. I bend my knees and then lift them up higher up towards the ceiling. I stretch my mat apart with my feet. Then walking your hands back up towards the top of the mat. Release the tension on the exhalation. Unfurl into your plank, legs are wide, and tap your shoulders. So about 10 of everything really. Either 10 seconds or 10 shoulder taps. And then moving over onto our side, you can lower the bottom knee, optional. Take a regular side plank or lift the top leg and pulses, again 10. Make sure you're nice and steady here for your shoulder joint if you're doing that, because this is for our glute and leg. Move back to plank, over onto the other side. Option 1, you drop the bottom knee. Option 2, side plank, one of the legs are in front. Option 3, pulses, lift that leg up, flex the foot, and get right into the side of the glute. Come back into your downward facing dog, rippling forward, lowering our knees. That's optional to lower the knees. Now, hands as wide as your mat and push-ups, like a regular push-up. We can do this from our knees, about 3, and then we unfurl again, or you can do it from your toes. You unfurl from down dog. So last round now, we lengthen from down dog or child's pose, lengthen the back, unfurl so your form is really good. The upper back stays rounded slightly. So last one. Now we bring our hands back under our shoulders. Full or half chaturanga. You'll notice I'm lifting my knees this time. Full or half upward facing dog. Keep your belly protecting you. Leg lifts, optional. Reversal into our downward facing dog. Remind yourself, release the excess tension. Now, left leg to the sky. Drawing a big circle. This is for the side of the glute and hip. And then reversing that circle. Make the side of the glute do the work. Thigh to the sky. Tiger curl. Make your thigh work when you're wearing weights. Hold. Thigh to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Cross body tiger curl. Hold. Rounding. Inhale. Thigh to the sky. Outer body tiger curl. Hold. You're doing great, guys. Step that foot up beside your left thumb. Bring your hands up to the ceiling and then press them out like you're pressing the wall away. So we're coming into a high lunge. Come as low as you can. Take little pulses if you need to. Hands on the hips. We hinge forward and then back upright. Hinge forward and back upright. Continue about 10. Now we're hinging forward to get into the glutes more. So send the energy out through your sit bones as you hinge forward and press through your heel more. Really keep a lovely long spine, and if you're feeling it in your hip joint, come out immediately so our muscles protect our joints, right? You can come out for a second, come back in. Now lower the back knee to the floor, more of a square shape here. Use your heel to come up and kick with that right leg now, lower into a lunge. And then kick with the right leg, doing what we can. Really press through the heel. We're continuing with those kicks, about 10. To come to stand, and then through the ball of the foot to come fully to stand and kick. That might feel the best for you with your muscles. Definitely does for me. So when I come to stand, I'm hinging forward, I press through my front heel and then the ball of the foot. Keep going, guys. Remember, you can relax your face here. That's going to help. Relax the top chest, relax the jaw. Keep using the thigh when you're kicking with that leg. Keep the hip moving out. Now, horse kick. So we lower the knee to the floor, same knee, but we kick behind us. This is like a Pilates horse kick. Keep those hips nice and even and kick with the heel. So on the exhalation, kick up with the heel. Keep your back lovely and long, so there's no movement in the spine. And we kick the heel up towards the ceiling. Again, we press through the ball of the front foot, the heel, and then the ball of the front foot. Hinging forward to come to stand is going to make it more challenging if you want that. But keep your glute working. Sometimes we really have to think our way through exercises to make the muscles work more. If you need to take a little break for a second, so we're holding here in Warrior 3, but if you need to take a little break, do and come back into it. Now from here, we're coming to stand and we're turning the front foot, the left foot out slightly. We squat, we bring our knee to the side, back to the center, and then step it up to the opposite leg. Again, we squat, bring it out to the side. We take our little lunge and then step it back up. A lunge, not a squat. So there's 3 of them. We're doing 3 little lunges and then coming back to the other foot. Now, you might have noticed by now, this is really challenging for our glute, particularly if we lean forward again. So it's a center lunge, a side lunge, getting right into the side of the glute. And then we come back to that center lunge. You're doing what you can here. Just keep going. Keep hinging forward if you can. Take a micro break if you need to. There's about 10 of everything. Keep exhaling the tension. Are you holding your breath? Good chance you are if you're trying. But things like yoga teach us not to hold the breath, to allow the breath to flow. And that's really helpful for continuing doing challenging things while relaxing our nervous system. Now, back knee to the floor, grab your block or stack of books, something hard, and place your left foot on that block. The back knee is on the floor. We step in towards the block and then we lower the back knee to the floor again. Do I need to remind you of the option of hinging forward a little bit? Probably not. But if you do, you're going to notice it in that glute. It's much more challenging. The glute has to squeeze as you come up to stand when you hinge forward a little bit. Again, really pressing through the heel to activate that glute. And if some muscle isn't strong enough, have a play around with where you're putting the weight in your foot so that at least your thigh is getting you up to stand. Maybe you don't hinge forward. You can always use a chair in this sequence, You can lean a little bit into the chair at the side or in this position if you want, with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back for quite a while. Now lowering the back knee on or towards the floor and using our thigh more. So sure, when we lunge, we press through the heel, but then we really press through the ball of the foot to straighten that front leg. It's going to be a little bit like a break here because the front thigh is doing a lot more work than the glute now. It should feel nice. So investigate that. How little things like where you're placing the weight in the foot activate certain muscle groups a lot more. Always moving mindfully. Nothing should hurt. No joints hurt. Stepping that back foot in now and removing the block. Now, side kicks, martial arts side kicks. Start with lifting the hip and knee. So we're practicing the form. The supporting leg, it turns out slightly as you lift the hip and the knee. Get that right first. And then eventually kick with the foot. So as you lift the hip and knee, keep the hip and knee higher and the foot extends upwards. Leaning to the side a little bit. Do what you can. So the work we've done should really eventually really help with this kind of move, this side kick. But I guess our muscles are probably a little bit fatigued from what we've been doing. So keep going. Press through the foot. So the foot is flexed. It's like we're using the side of the foot. The biggest takeaway here is keeping the hip and knee lifted. That's going to make the side of our glute work really hard. It also demands strength there already. So as I mentioned, ankle weights are absolutely optional in this sequence, and we would have to move a lot slower to make sure that the muscles are doing all that heavy lifting. It's always a little bit different when we add a new prop or we work with weights. How's the breath going? Is it still flowing? Just checking in with that. Coming to the back of our mat again and enjoying rolling back down through the spine, hanging out there for a little, enjoying that, and then walking our hands back slowly into our downward facing dog. Lift our armpits away from the floor, rippling forward into your plank, and then lowering one elbow and then the other to the floor. This is pretty challenging. Lower one elbow down, the other, and then press up with the first hand, press down with the opposite hand. Swap sides. So don't always lower the same elbow down and press up with the same hand. Swap sides. Have a look at the video here and see what I'm doing. So each time I'm swapping sides, there's this little pause in between. And really feel a squeeze around your shoulder joints before you press up. So keep those muscles doing all the lifting. It is challenging. Don't worry if you're finding it challenging, it should be. Downward facing dog again. Then lower both elbows and press up through the hands. Feel the squeeze in your back. And there's the option to lower one elbow again and press up. You know, lifting one elbow, lowering one elbow, like I demoed there. Otherwise, both elbows lower towards the floor and both elbows lift. You're going to really need to squeeze into the muscles in your back to do that. So this is like our break for our legs in between. It's a funny break, isn't it? But it's going to strengthen the muscles in our back, our arms, our abdominal muscles when we do all those planks. Take little breathing breaks if you need to, but keep going, keep going. Now coming into our forearm plank, really lifting that navel up. See what happens when you squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your inner thighs together and see what happens with the muscles and the rest of your body. Did your abdominal muscles fire up more? Now coming into a dolphin pose and pulsing one heel up towards the ceiling about 10 times. And the other. We want the squeeze in the glutes here. It's a fancy glute exercise, right? We're getting some work for the arms in too. Then press up through the hands back to your down dog. Lowering your knees to the floor. Now, press ups on the side of our hands. You can do a full one if you want. You'll notice I'm doing a micro variation from my knees. So I'm going to do about 20 here. You might do unfurls and you might get in about 10 if you're doing 1 to 3 from half plank variation. But for me, this is quite challenging at this stage, and from my knees, it's perfect. I'm trying to keep my upper back in line with my shoulder blades and trying to lower down as close as I can to the floor to really strengthen with control, to strengthen with respect for my body. Back into our down dog, our plank, full or half chaturanga, full or half up dog. Stretch the front line of the body. Lift one leg and then the other option. Belly lifts us back into our down dog. It's nice to exhale in our downward facing dog, right? It's an opportunity to breathe. Now, other side, hip circle with your right leg and reverse that hip circle. Thigh to the sky. Center tiger curl, pause, rounding. Inhale, thigh to the sky. Exhale, cross body tiger curl, rounding. Inhale, thigh to the sky. Exhale, outer body tiger curl. And then step that right foot beside the right thumb, scoot your back toes back. Lift your hands up, then out, so qigong arms. Find spaciousness in your elbows, your chest, your wrists, your fingers, as you perhaps take little pulses here. Holding for about the count of 10 before hinging forward and back upright. Hinging forward and back to standing. Keep breathing. You know what's coming next. So it's a challenging sequence, but if you keep exhaling the tension, you can do it. You should be working strongly through that front heel as you hinge forward. You know you don't have to come as low in your lunges. You can come up and out, but leave that for when you really need to. You know, see how you go. Now, making that square shape with your right foot on the floor and your left leg behind, and then our kicks. Bring the knee to the floor again. Bring the hip forward, everything nice and controlled. Moving as slow as you need to, especially if ankle weights are new to you. Our thigh does the lifting of the leg. And it's like our sit bones are moving out and forward. Our hip is moving forward. It's a lot more work if you're using ankle weights. So don't worry if your leg doesn't lift as high. Just that pressing up from kneeling in itself. Blow the tension out through your mouth. So keep checking in and asking yourself, am I holding the breath again? It's a constant thing in yoga to check in and notice. Now our horse kicks. So we lower the knee to the floor and kick behind us this time. Now, it's not about as high as we can kick, because if we kick as high as we can kick, that left hip will open. We're keeping the left hip closed down towards the floor. So the left hip, if there were headlights or headlamps on your hips, both of them would be facing directly downwards when you kick that leg back behind you. And you'll get more squeeze in the buttocks by doing that in the back glute. And it is practice for Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Those hips in line. It's a really challenging pose, right? That Warrior 3. Even though it looks so easy. Keep going. You're nearly done with this. Press through the front heel, the ball of the foot. Now hold in your Warrior 3. Challenging. The front foot, the foot turns out. That's really important. Then we we lunge across, back to the center, and then foot steps up towards the top foot. Lunge, step across the body, lunge, back to the center, lunge. So those 3 lunges, easier to just watch, right? What I'm doing. Keep going with that. about 10. We're breathing, we're hinging forward. Your hands are on your hips or wherever is comfortable. If at any stage you're like, I'm going to give up, don't give up. Grab a chair and finish the sequence, leaning into a chair slightly so you won't have to worry about balance so much, and you'll notice your face relaxes, etc. But if it's hard and you can continue, go with the hard and continue. Just find a way where you can complete the sequence. You can breathe. It's better to do 2 of something than none of something. Always remember that. Trying to get that knee as close to the floor as possible when you're lunging. I know you might be tired. Now we grab our block. We bring that left knee to the floor. We bring our right foot to the block. Particularly make sure your heel is on the block so you can push down through it. Lean forward. And then step the back foot in. We bring our back knee to the floor again, lean forward, and step the back foot up beside the block. I don't know, was it simply my muscles or was it because the sequence before was so challenging? This felt kind of nice. It just felt a lot easier than the last sequence. Pressing through that heel, coming to stand. The block just gives a little bit more range. You could do it without the block and it would still be fine, but it makes the glute work and the front leg work quite a bit harder. I do all these because they're actually quite helpful for things like Kung Fu. There's a lot of requirements in Kung Fu and martial arts to really have strong thighs, be able to squat really deeply, come to stand, kick from being really deep in stances, etc. So coming to our lunge and straighten, now we're working the front thigh here strongly. So press down through that ball of the foot to come to stand, a little through the heel to get you up a little, and then mostly through the ball of the foot. Again, if your thighs are strong, that will feel a little bit like a holiday because there's less glute work going on. This is quite a glute heavy sequence, even though mostly with glutes, it's half, sorry, not with glutes, with lunges, half glutes and quads. But here with that leaning forward, the glutes are doing a lot of the work. This will feel like a little break where our thighs, just 2 more, our thighs are pressing us back to stand. Keep going. Step that back foot in. Remove the block. You're probably very tired now. I was quite tired, I can see that. Lift that hip again and the knee. So coming into our side kicks. We're facing the opposite direction, but it doesn't really matter because we're doing both sides. Lift the hip, lift the knee. You might stay with that or you might extend the leg. Ideally, the supporting leg will be straight. When you're lifting the hip and knee, you'll notice you begin to turn the supporting leg out a little bit more and allow that rebalancing. There's a kind of a little hop you'll notice that happens naturally so that the hips can open more. Of course, if you do Kung Fu, not just for fitness, but if you do it on its own, you might be able to do these kicks beautifully and strongly and fast with power. Otherwise, work your muscles. Sure, maybe one day you'll be able to do your Kung Fu kicks with power. This might help you, hopefully, get those muscles nice and strong so you can move slowly like me if you prefer. I just want to get those muscles firing up so that one day I'll be able to do it. Roll back down through your spine now. You've done all the major work in this class. The rest really is just a release. There's a little bit of optional coming to stand, but most of the next bit is stretches. So finding our downward facing dog. Rippling forward into a plank, and we have this option of jumping our feet out. So there's a little bit more work, right? But this is optional. And I'll be over soon, jumping our feet out, lowering down onto our elbows, taking another forearm plank. We're so nearly done. Releasing any tension we can. Just giving it one last bit of energy, finishing strong, and then lowering our knees to the floor. Wide push-ups. So get as low as you can, particularly if you're doing it from your knees. Maybe you just do one push-up, so it's 1 to 3 as we unfurl. Feel free to just do one. It's not our legs, not our glutes working here, right? So our arms are relatively fresh. We unfurl, keeping upper back in line with shoulder blades, and 1 to 3 push-ups. You can also do them from your toes. Hands back into our chaturanga shape underneath the shoulders. Full or half plank, chaturanga, and our up dog. Lift one leg and the other optional. Reversal into our downward facing dog again. Now lowering our knees to the floor and taking a well-deserved child's pose. You'll notice I'm lifting my elbows off the floor to release into my back. Have a little wiggle. You can press the floor away actively if you want. Lift the armpits away from the floor. And then coming into a thread the needle or a rolling panda, you'll notice I step my foot out to the side. That's optional. Just do what feels good for you. You can actually put your hand, top hand behind the back and take a deeper twist. I do something different on the other side. Or you can have both knees on the floor for that thread the needle. Just a nice twist. Again, we took that right arm under on the other side. We step the foot out, optional, and you'll notice here I have my hand behind my back. You can even roll back onto the back of the head more, but it needs to feel really good if you do that. Can you steady the breath? Can you let go of more tension? Perhaps come back to yoga breathing in and out through the nostrils now. Knees to the floor. And taking our malasana. Now if you're done, you stay in your malasana. You can come into skandasana later, but otherwise you just stay rocking forward and back, or bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, that prayer position. And stay there, or like me, come up and down out of this. Open the knees wide as you come to sit. So this pose, we do it in martial arts, but also in yoga. Really press through the feet. Open the knees wide as you come back into that squatting position. Just a few more, and it's completely optional. If you're done, you're done. You sit there, you work on flexibility if you're done. This is just for those who have something left in the tank still. This is helpful to be able to do for martial arts, to be able to come to stand from down very low. Now, knees to the floor and puppy pose. You can bring your forehead to the floor or even your chin, but you'll notice the buttocks is over the knees. It's not towards the heels this time. So there's this big kind of slant in the back. It's a back bend. If your back hurts, well, it shouldn't really. So adjust, either draw your navel in or lift your forehead onto a block or something. Now from here, we're coming into our Skandasana. We do this in martial arts too, yoga and martial arts. So you're releasing that right leg. You can do it from a chair. All the next sequence, you can stay high and coming as low as you can, but in a controlled way by using the seat of a chair to press your hands into for stability. Coming over onto the other side, open that knee out. Releasing the back leg. I like to rock here. Just really releasing the tension from around the glute, around the hip. Pressing through that leg. Now, we have an option of pressing up 5 times. So nearly coming to stand. And that's completely optional. You might be done with the strengthening work, but if you aren't, keep going. If you got more, we're so nearly done that you can keep going, even as we repeat this on the other side. Even if you don't go anywhere, think of pressing through the foot. So we're building that strength. Your muscles do begin to work when you start using your brain like that. Think of pressing through the feet. Press down through it. Feel the thigh begin to do the work. And now more martial arts release. Our feet stay on the floor. Our toes turned outwards as we lunge from side to side like a side lunge. You'll notice I'm opening my knee with my elbow. It's just a reminder for me. That's what feels nice. And you're really going to feel a nice release down the side of the straight leg. Now hands to the floor, scoot your legs in according to your leg and torso length. Take a twist. So step one of your hands into the center of your mat and the other behind your back. The aim is to keep your hips facing forward. So rotate from the navel and the chest, but keep your hips facing forward. That's another little tip for low back health. We don't have much rotational ability in the low back. So wide-legged forward fold and release. I'm going to pretty much end this little sequence soon. But you might want to hang out here for longer. And I definitely would recommend that you do other release poses, that you take a really good cool down and shavasana.